In this lesson, we're going to learn the Hapki-Do self-defense techniques for yellow belt 1 to 5. So this is a different set of techniques now from the ones that we did at white belt. So every belt level, there's new techniques to learn again. So these ones, once again, you have to imagine that your attacker is grabbing your wrist, your right wrist, with their left hand. So again, the techniques will also work on the other side. If somebody is grabbing your left with their right, the same techniques will work. But if it's an in-hand grab, as we call it, right hand to right hand or left hand to left hand, that comes later. So we will cover that. But for now, just keeping it simple, outside wrist grab, your attacker is facing you, and they're grabbing with their left hand. So again, as mentioned previously, we understand that, I've covered this already, but we understand that simply throwing a punch would be the most logical thing, but sometimes we just want to escape, or sometimes we have an opportunity to get a submission. So here, your opponent's grabbing your wrist. Number one, what you're going to do, turn the wrist upward like this, grab underneath, peel the fingers off, so peel their hand off of your wrist, circle it in front of your body like this, and then push forward, step. And what this does, again, this is why you have to work with a partner for these, because it'll all make perfect sense when you're working with a partner. And I have videos where I'm doing these techniques with my dad. You can go and watch those videos as well, and everything will click. I just don't give full explanations in those videos for what I'm doing, like I'm doing in these ones. So here, you move your opponent's wrist in like this, and when you shove back, you're actually driving their elbow back into their body, potentially into their solar plexus. So that's what you're doing with technique number one. So circle the wrist in, grab underneath, peel the fingers away, so you break their grip, peel it away, circle it in front, and then step forward. And push. Push and push hard. So here, looking out from the side, same thing. Circle, grab underneath, peel away with your fingers, break their grip, bring it in front, and then step forward and push. And it doesn't matter whether you step forward, left leg, or right leg, it makes no difference. So that is technique number one. Number two, so again, they're holding here like this. I'm going to move the wrist outward and down like this, circle it, grab on top, and while I do this, I'm going to step out to the side. I'm going to break the grip, circle, and then I'm going to step over like this. And I'm going to get an arm bar submission out of this one. So from here, stepping out to the side, move the wrist out like this, grab the hand to break the grip, and then from here, this hand circles, comes around, and then I'm going to step. I'm going to use this hand here to roll the arm over, make a knife hand, roll the hand over. This one is going to be grabbing by the wrist, and it's going to have wrist and hand control. You're going to roll over like this, and as I step forward, I'm going to push down with this arm here, and I'm going to twist in with this hand here. So I'm putting pressure on the hand, and I'm pushing down just above the elbow on their arm, and hook it slightly, just like this, so that you don't slide off. So with your knife hand, you don't want to accidentally slip off. So hook it slightly like this, and then push down and in towards you, and push push this way with the left hand, all at the same time. So what you're going to find with a lot of the Hapki-Do techniques is it's the subtle differences that make or break the technique. So you can do 90% of the technique right, and it only works a tiny little bit. But when you get it 100%, then it's a submission. It's a huge difference. So you've got to, if you find that your opponent is not submitting, they're not feeling pain there, it's because there's something that you're missing. You're not applying the pressure correctly if they're not feeling it at that point. So it can be a very subtle difference, a very small thing that you're doing wrong to not get it. So that's why I need to explain these techniques more in depth, and that's what these lessons are for. So again, number two, stepping out, grab, right? Grab, peel the grip off, circle over, and then here, pushing down and in, and pushing in with this hand. I'll show it this way. So from here, stepping out, grab, break the grip, turn this hand over, roll it over like this, and then you can see I'm in a walking stance, pushing down and a little bit in and pulling in or twisting in like this. And that will, your opponent will be in this position here. So you'll be bending the hand in this way, and you'll be applying pressure to the elbow. That's number two. Number three. With this one, turn upward and in, grab, and get the pressure point right at the elbow. So at the widest point here, right at the elbow, there's a pressure point on the inside. You're using your thumb to get that pressure point. That's going to weaken the arm. It's going to distract your opponent. It's going to weaken the arm. It's going to weaken their grip all at the same time. It's going to be very painful for them when you squeeze there, and that buys you some time. So from there, you're going to open your hand, this one here that's being grabbed, and from there, you're going to step forward, and you're going to bring the arm up, over, and around, behind their back. And from this position here, you're going to twist. This is grabbing their wrist up at the top. You're going to twist. This is grabbing the elbow. You're going to shove this in, and you're going to turn it and pull out away from their body. So you're turning their wrist up behind their back like this is what you're doing with technique number three. So again, turn upward, expose the opponent's elbow, go for the pressure point, open this hand. This is important. So when you step, by opening this hand, your hand is going to be automatically grasping the wrist when you get to this point here. And then close it, and you've got what's sometimes called a chicken wing submission, but your opponent will be in this position here, and this is another submission move. Looking at that from the side. So from here, turning in, elbow pressure point, open this hand up, step forward, circle, circle, step behind your opponent, and squeeze here. And now turn this way and towards you. That's number three. Number four. Again, same grab on the wrist. This one, very important at the beginning. You're going to circle around and come on top with this hand. So circle and come on top of the wrist. Grab underneath with your other hand. And then step out, bring it up over your head, and While you push up with your arms, you're going to twist downward on the wrist. That is number 4. And you're in a sitting stance at the finish. So from here, so twist like this, grab the wrist, circle it up over your head so your opponent's arm is straight. And at this point here, keep their arm up high and twist the wrist downward like this. So looking from the side, circle the wrist around until you come out on top, grab it underneath with the other hand, step out into a sitting stance, bring it up high over top of your head, and push up while you twist the wrist down. And again, your opponent that's grabbing you, their arm is going to be up like this when you do this twist. So sometimes difficult to visualize, but check out the videos that I have with a partner and all will be made clear at that point. I'm just going through the motions here and showing you how to do these techniques and what we're doing in each of these for these lessons. Number 5, circle the wrist inward. Some people like to grab underneath and then break the hold like this. I like to grab on top with this one because it helps with breaking the hold. So circle up, grab on top, break the hold, and then from there, circling around and making a knife hand and applying pressure to the wrist. That's number 5. So if you grab underneath, it works as well, but then when you go to apply pressure, you're kind of pushing the opponent's hand out of your wrist. So better to grab on top for this one. So grab here, pull out so you break the grip, make a circle, and then apply pressure to the wrist. So looking at that from the side, circle, grab on top, the opponent's arm is going to be here, grab, break out of the grip, circle the wrist, and then step forward, make a knife hand, and you're going to be pushing down like this. What this is going to do is you're going to be bending your opponent's hand and wrist backward like this. This is going to be the position that they're in when you end up with that knife hand. So that's number 5. So those are the Hapki-Do self-defense techniques for yellow belt 1 to 5.